Welcome back to the channel, guys. This one is by special request. My good friend Monk McCool requested it on the live. Shout out to you, homeboy. This is jail food versus prison food and my thoughts on it. If you're new to the channel, back around 1989, I became involved in drugs and alcohol and I became addicted. I lived a crazy lifestyle and I did not get clean until 2004. I was in and out of the county jails and prison. At one point, I was on probation in San Bernardino, Riverside, and Los Angeles counties all at the same time. What an accomplishment, right? Not. Anyways, I'm over here cracking myself up. Anyways, so I got clean in 2004 and I never looked back. And I'm here to tell you if I could do it, you could do it. So let's get into today's story. Jail food versus prison food. Jail food being like uh, county jail basically. In California, we have county jails and we have prison. County jail you go to when you are fighting a case, and prison is where you go when you're sentenced, if you don't know. In the county jail, you don't have a lot of anything coming at all, to be honest with you. You don't have a lot of program. You don't. You get store like once a week, but it's limited as far as what you can order. Um, on the commissary sheet, like you can order a coffee cup or some stuff like that, hygiene and basic things in the county jail, soups, like your Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams, uh, meaning like Honey Buns, Snickers, Three Musketeers, stuff like that, Nutter Butters, whatever they're doing these days. It's been a while for me. And then you get your county tray 3 times a day. In some counties were better than others, like San Bernardino County. You would get if I remember correctly, I believe it was food was delivered 3 times a day. So you'd get a breakfast tray, you'd get a lunch tray, which was usually like a sandwich or something of the sort, and then you would get a dinner tray. And San Bernardino County food was halfway decent. Okay. Uh, it's a lot smaller than LA County as far as inmate population, but San Bernardino County food was I would call it decent. Um, Riverside County was similar. LA County jail, you would get like 2 hard-boiled eggs in a milk, and I'm trying to think of what, and maybe a little box of breakfast cereal, where you'd pour the milk into the breakfast cereal if you were lucky. Uh, for lunchtime, you'd get a couple sandwiches, and for dinner, you would get um, some sort of sloppy dinner that had it's probably potatoes, rice, or something of the beans, something that's used to feed the masses, right? Um, County jail food was not good. Not a whole lot of opportunities to uh, come up on anything. If occasionally, like when I was in the trustee dorm in LA County Jail, occasionally we would come up on some ODR food. Now, what ODR stands for is that's the officer's dining room. And if you were lucky enough to be a trustee that worked there, then you ate well. If you weren't, then if you went above and beyond, like say there was a cell that needed cleaning up and it had blood or something of the sort in it, maybe the officer would shoot you like an ODR burrito or something. And these were fantastic. This was as close to real food as you were going to get. Otherwise, it's just institutional food, right? County jail, like I said, you don't got a whole lot coming regardless. When it comes to eating, you eat a lot better when you make it to prison. But that kind of changes from institution to institution as well, depending on where you're at. Like when I was in the CCF, we ate a lot better. Now, when I was in prison in Delano, we were on lockdown most of the time. So the stuff that was coming to the cells was pretty shitty, if I'm being completely honest. But One thing I remember about prison is there was a menu, and it wasn't like the type of menu where you could be like, oh, well, I'll have the Caesar salad with a Dr. Pepper. No, not that. What the menu was it just told you, so you knew what you were going to be eating, like for the, I don't remember if it was for the rest of the week or the rest of the month, but you didn't just like get, like in county jail after the afternoon count, you'd be watching the rotunda in San Bernardino because they would start rolling the trays in, and you'd be like, okay, like by then you're starving to death unless you just have a big old bag of commissary. And like you were so anxious, like you pretty much ate everything on the tray. Now in prison, like I said, you would, there was a menu, and I was like, wow, this is fancy. So in a lot of places, you would walk to chow. You'd walk to the chow hall. You come up, and uh, the only place that really sticks out, I think, was McFarland, and because I wasn't in the first place very long, and we were on lockdown at Delano, but you would walk into the chow hall, bunch of tables, and chow hall could be a volatile place because you have a lot of different groups in the same area at the same time. So you get in there, you don't have a whole bunch of time to eat, so you're like chowing down, and like I said, the food was a little bit better, but you come in, and like it's not like uh, what's that? Blood in, blood out is what I'm thinking of, where they come up, and like LA County's the same way on the 5,000 floor. If you walk, there's like a chow line, and you got guys back there scooping it. In prison, I didn't see that. You come up, there's a little space about big enough for a tray to slide out, and you get the tray. And I'm not sure why they do that. Maybe due to the way politics were back then. Uh, you didn't want certain races touching your food or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure why it was that way. But the food was definitely a little bit better. I remember getting hamburgers and stuff like that that was halfway decent. Now, commissary list is a lot longer in prison, but you only get a draw once a month. So, there's better things that you could get in prison. Is like you could get tortillas. I think you could get sodas and stuff like that. I don't, like the beans in a bag was cool. Like that always gave the soups good flavor. And but the one thing about prison that really stood out was if you're on a yard that's programming, they would do these food sales from time to time. And, you're going to pay out the ass for it, but you might actually get some Kentucky Fried Chicken or some Domino's Pizza or Taco Bell or whatever the food sale was for at the time they were doing it. The one that I do remember with that was they were doing Domino's Pizza. That was at McFarland. And I did for like my old lady had been sending me money, and I told her to stop doing that because she needed to worry about my kids and stuff. So of course I didn't have any money on the books for this one, but the homeboys included me, and they ordered a couple of pizzas, and I think they paid like 2 or 3 times what a pizza normally cost because it's like it's supposed to be some sort of fundraiser or something for CDC. But so the homeboys hooked me up with a couple slices of pizza, and they got like a 6 pack of Pepsi or whatever it was, and they weren't even cold Pepsis. But I'll tell you what, that pizza and that soda tasted like heaven. Like it had only been like maybe a year or so since I'd had fast food, and oh my god, this stuff was delicious. The thing is, like, you make spreads and stuff, whether you're in the county jail or prison, and you look forward to these things when you're doing time. It becomes a part of your program. Well, it did for me, anyways. Like after you get like the afternoon, the 4 o'clock count, then you'd go to chow, maybe go back out to yard if the evening night yard is available, and then you come back in, take a shower, and make a spread. Maybe you throw in with somebody else from your car, or even with other cars sometimes. And those spreads were so good. But I will say this, that's in there. Uh, in the real world, like those spreads are not all that great, in my opinion. I've never really been a big top ramen guy, but in there, it was good in comparison to the food. So, county jail food for the most part was shit. Prison food was a little bit better. They fed you a little better and whatnot. Um, the drawing a blank. The food sales were always awesome. Uh, a little taste of the real world, Um, the best way to describe institutional food, in my opinion, is if you've ever been in the hospital and you're eating hospital food and every other commercial on TV is Domino's or Carl's Jr., if you think about how good that food looks when you don't have access to that type of food, that kind of sums it all up, in my opinion. I'm not really a big fast food fan most of the time, but when you are hungry, that stuff looks heavenly. So with this one, I'm going to leave it at that. If you've done time, drop a comment. What's your opinion? Prison food, county jail food, food sales? What was your experience? Let us know in the comments down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button. Drop that comment and let us know what your experience has been. And share the video. It really helps to grow the channel. I'm going to do my best to stay on the grind with this again. Sorry I fell off for a while. Life was happening, and life does happen. But ultimately, this channel is about sobriety and how much better life can be when you are sober. Life isn't perfect when you're sober, but at least you have a sober mind to figure things out a little better. Family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allow me to get my life together, and they can help you out as well. If you're new to sobriety, welcome. I believe in you. You can do this. Not a lot of people are going to believe in you early on, but I do. So stick around, hang out with us when I do my lives. It's kind of a online support group, if you will. Excuse me. So like, subscribe, comment, share, do all those things. Become a member. Hit that join button and choose a level of membership. Anyways, that's what I got today. Family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allow me to get my life together. They can help you as well. You just got to come up with a plan and execute. Anyways, hope you all are having a great week, and don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.